Illinois Realtors leadership and your member-led RPAC trustees wish to thank all our members who invested in RPAC in 2020. With your support, our state association surpassed its goals and earned the National Association of Realtors President's Cup for the 4th year in a row. In addition, 107 members became new major investors. 16 Illinois Realtors were inducted into the RPAC Hall of Fame with an aggregate lifetime investment of $25,000, and 2 members, Gene Crosby and Chris Reed, reached the $50,000 lifetime RPAC investment milestone. Illinois Realtors also congratulates these local associations which met or exceeded their fundraising and participation goals in 2020, earning them the National Association of Realtors President's Cup and Triple Crown Awards. Congratulations on your outstanding achievement, and thank you for supporting RPAC. And last but not least, we want to congratulate the Main Street Organization of Realtors for ranking first in the nation for RPAC participation among boards of its size, achieving 62% participation. Main Street was also 5th in the nation on highest dollar amount raised by a local association. Illinois Realtors applauds Main Street Organization of Realtors for its excellent accomplishments. Your efforts truly made a difference. We are extremely proud of all of our RPAC investors. You helped RPAC elect quality candidates and inform our government leaders at the local, state, and federal levels whose decisions have a far-reaching impact on realtors. Thank you to all of our RPAC major investors. Find a full list of names at the end of this program.
Hello, welcome to the 2021 Winter Business Meetings. I am Sue Miller, your Illinois Realtors President. This event was formerly called the Public Policy Meetings. It was extremely popular, and many of you took time out of your schedules to travel through our friendly, frigid temperatures, ice and snow to participate. Well, good news. We've changed the title to Winter Business Meetings this year for a very good reason. We have expanded those meetings to provide you with more insightful and in-depth information that you can use to help your clients, your community, and most importantly, your business. Being consistent with our ROI platform for your Illinois Realtors to offer consistent services and programs to help us be united, strong, and resilient in 2021. During the meetings this year, we will help you to better understand the agendas of the powerful Illinois Legislative Black Caucus in the House and the very influential minority GOP caucus in the Senate. We will explain how that impacts our advocacy goals to help you continue to operate efficiently and successfully. To that end, we are also going to walk you through our 2021 legislative agenda that includes protecting every facet of the real estate industry while securing passage of legislation aimed at addressing the state's growing housing availability crisis. We are also going to outline how diversity, equality, and inclusion expands your customer base and increases your revenue. And we will conclude these meetings by answering your questions about new administrative rules, how to continue to operate safely, and all other legal matters. Can you tell I'm super excited about these new meetings and their format? While I truly do miss seeing you in person, I am so happy that you can sit in the comfort of your home or your office and receive these updates on key business and legislative issues and the outlook for the real estate industry and our businesses and communities for 2021. Now, I would like to kick these meetings off by introducing the forum on our legislative priorities in 2021. Advocating on behalf of our industry and private property rights is one of our most important missions. This year, we will be seeking passage of our own legislative package to increase the affordability and availability of housing throughout our great state. Greg St. Aubin, Senior Vice President of Governmental Affairs for Illinois REALTORS, will outline our agenda. Greg, the floor is now yours. Please let our members know what we're up to.
Well, thank you, Sue, and hello, Realtors. Welcome to the 2021 Spring Session Legislative Outlook. We've got a lot to talk about for the spring session, but let me very quickly put things in perspective by telling you about a crazy end to the 101st General Assembly, known as the lame duck session. So after the election in November, you've got a period of time where the old General Assembly meets before we swear in the new one. That period is called the lame duck period. And so there was a lame duck session, and the legislators came to Springfield. First time they've been here since May. They came here for a few days of very intense activity, and we were at the very heart of what was going on. We came into this lame duck session with a legislative proposal that would have ended the eviction moratorium and all of the restrictions by law sooner rather than later. We had a really solid proposal put together. We even had an incentive in there for landlords to sign new leases and keep their tenants in place. We presented that, and to our frustration, our proposal was more or less cast aside, and a new proposal was put forward. Well, you would not believe what was in this proposal. It would have not only not brought a swifter end to the moratorium, it would have extended some of the moratorium's provisions, most importantly, the provision which prohibits landlords from proceeding with evictions. It would have extended it into the spring of 2022. Well, of course, we strongly opposed that. We entered into negotiations, and because of the short time frame, our legislative team, along with your CEO, Jeff Baker, were engaged in negotiations virtually around the clock. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, leading up to the close of the lame duck session on Wednesday. So after all of this negotiation, it turned out we couldn't come up with an agreement. Well, it was so important to legislators that the realtors be on board anything that was put forward. We were summoned to the House Speaker Michael Madigan's office, and he was going to bring the parties together to see if he could have us come to an agreement. Now, here it is. On virtually the day he suspended his bid to continue being House Speaker, and we sat in his office virtually negotiating this for over an hour and a half, which was just really ironic. And so we thought we had a deal, but the thing just wound up falling apart. And so would we have preferred a good piece of legislation going forward that would have ended the moratorium sooner? Sure. But we sure are glad that we were able to defeat that proposal that would have carried it into next year. So that's one of the issues that will be pushed forward into the spring session, and we'll keep you posted on that. But speaking of the speaker, we now have a new speaker, State Representative Chris Welch from Westchester. There was an intense battle for who was going to succeed Speaker Madigan, who, by the way, is the longest serving legislative leader in any state or federal body in U.S. history. So this is a really unprecedented time here in Illinois. Representative Welch is a good friend of ours. We regularly go to him And I often seek his counsel on strategy on how we're approaching legislation. He kind of gives us a behind-the-scenes insight as to what's going on, and he helps us, hey, maybe you want to talk to so-and-so, or maybe you would like to point out this issue more than another. He's really a key ally, and I know the local realtors have a great relationship with him. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but he's just sworn in the other day, and he made the time to have a Zoom call with me just to say hello. And we've got that for you today, so have a look.
Well, hello, Mr. Speaker.
Congratulations.
Hey, Greg,
hey, thank you so much. Honored to be here.
Thank you for making the time to do this. I am sure you've just hardly had a minute to just sit and absorb all of this. How does it feel?
Well, it still hasn't really sunk in yet, Greg. When I went to Springfield last week, I didn't think I would come home with the title of Speaker of the House of the state of Illinois, let alone be the first African-American in the state's long history to hold that position. So it's taken a while to soak in. My phone is ringing nonstop, text messages, emails. It's hard to keep up, but it's a good time to be an Illinoisan. It's a good time to be in the House of Representatives. It was really an amazing lame duck session for Black Americans, Black Illinoisans, and to cap it off with the election of the first Black speaker was special.
Yeah, that is really amazing. I mean, given all of the conversations that have been going on, really across the country, and one of the major focuses of the lame duck session, as you said, was the Illinois Legislative Black Caucus agenda. And for all this to come together, it's just really amazing to watch. And we are so proud of you. And I think that your colleagues in the House made an excellent choice in making you Speaker and to lead us forward at this critical time.
Well, thank you, Greg. Certainly hope not to disappoint. We're rolling up our sleeves and getting right to work. Looking forward to doing the job.
Well, as I told you, we're recording this, and we have some meetings taking place where our most active realtors from throughout the state are going to be tuning in and getting a legislative update and kind of an outlook of some of the things that might be happening as we head into the spring session. Do you have any message you'd like to share for our realtors? I mean, you've been a great supporter of ours, and we really appreciate that. And we look forward to working with you. You know, our organization and our members, they're really engaged in their communities, and they pride themselves in the realtors being a constructive participant in the legislative process. And we, pledge to do anything we can to help you as you lead us forward in the House. But is there anything else you'd like to share with our members as we embark on this journey?
Well, first of all, I want to, again, thank you for having me on to address your members. And I hope everyone is well and staying safe during COVID. I will tell you, I'm looking forward to continuing our relationship now in my new capacity as Speaker of the House. As a legislator, you tend to look at things in the lens of your district. In this new position, I'm going to have to look at things through the lens of the entire state, what's good for the entire state. And I couldn't have a better partner in that than the realtors who bring and set policy that impact every community up and down the state and across the state. So I look forward to working with all of you. I look forward to seeing you at the Capitol and continuing to help move positive agendas forward.
Well, we couldn't be in better hands, and we're really excited to work with you. And please let us know whatever we can do to help you move our great state forward. Thank you again for the time, and hopefully you can get some rest one of these days.
Well, Greg, I will tell you, my voice, I can tell my voice is starting to change. So I'm going to sleep well this weekend.
Amen. All right. Take care. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Take care.
Thanks
My friend.
again.
Have a good one.
And of course, we can't leave out the Illinois Senate, which is led by State Senator Don Harmon from Oak Park. Senator Harmon leads the Senate with a steady hand. He's a good friend, and I had an opportunity to have a chat with him as well recently. Take a look.
Well, good morning, President Harmon. How are you today?
Good. Good morning to you. Thanks for arranging this.
Well, and boy, thank you for joining me on a Saturday morning. We're obviously both in our casual attire after an absolutely grueling week. I don't know about you, but I'm still feeling the effects of it. Virtually 24 hours of session the other day. How do you feel?
Well, I haven't pulled an all-nighter since college that I can recall. A little bit harder than it used to be. But it was important work, and I'm glad that we got so much done.
Yes, there was certainly a lot done. Well, I just wanted to offer you on behalf of our members who are viewing a heartfelt congratulations on being elected Senate President once again. You're a great leader, and we salute you for stepping up to lead our state once again during some very challenging times. And how does it feel?
It's a challenge. 2 days after I was elected in January of last year, we had the first confirmed case of COVID announced. So my time in the Senate presidency has been certainly overshadowed by having to navigate a pandemic response. And then, of course, the civil unrest that followed the murder of George Floyd in the spring added a whole another level of complication. So we've been traveling through rough seas, but I'm really pleased that we were able to come back and not only navigate COVID, we hope successfully, but also to really adopt a robust agenda for change and equality.
Well, you've certainly led the Senate with a steady hand, which is exactly what was needed through these times. So here we are, we're into the 102nd General Assembly now, and we still face those challenges. We're still under the governor's declaration and the eviction moratorium, and we tried to deal with that a little bit in the lame duck session, but fell short, and we'll get right back at it. And the state continues to face a budget deficit, and without the passage of the fair tax, the revenue picture is always something that's going to be at the forefront. So do you have any thoughts on, as we enter the 102nd, what you're looking at and how things are going to go?
Again, there is nothing normal about these times. Having had such a protracted January session before the new General Assembly assembled, it's a little hard to have a proactive agenda until we unpack all that we did and figure out what still needs to be done. That being said, I think that the two obvious things are the things you referenced: finding a way to steer not only the General Assembly, but also the state through what we hope is the last run of the pandemic, with the vaccines coming online and the appears to be successful mitigation efforts. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, we believe. So staying steady until we reach that status quo. And then with the General Assembly, finding a way to return to the Capitol to do our work in a way that is safe and open and transparent. Those are going to be the challenges for the next weeks and months. By the end of May, I hope we will be able to deal honestly and successfully with our immediate budget challenge. We have some tools to do that. Obviously, we didn't have the voters approve the constitutional amendment, which takes one tool that we'd hope to have away from us. But at the same time, the changing of the guard in Washington suggests that we might have a more willing partner in DC to help not only Illinois, but every state and municipality wrestle with the economic downturn resulting from the pandemic.
Well, and we certainly are going to be a part of those, want to be a part of many of those conversations. And as you know, Senator, the realtors, our members, really pride themselves on the organization being a constructive participant in the legislative process, the give and take of negotiations, bringing our expertise to the table. And so is there, and as I mentioned to you, this meeting we're recording as to kick off a week's worth of meetings of our most involved members throughout the state. Is there any message you have for our members out there as, again, we enter this next phase here?
I do, and we really appreciate your presence at the Capitol. You have a great team on the ground interacting with us. But more importantly, I want to tell you how grateful I am and how impressed I am that in the wake of these challenges, the response of the realtors has been so collaborative and thoughtful, and recognizing that the true strength of your business is not and has never been the price of dirt. It is the value of communities. And so the open-mindedness and the thoughtfulness with which you have engaged with us on very difficult discussions that might seem counter to the what folks would think would be the knee-jerk reaction. I can't tell you how grateful I am for that and how much I believe that will benefit you, the organization, and your members in the long run to have that kind of partnership with policymakers in the General Assembly.
Well said, Senator, and thank you. And we look forward to diving into this with a positive attitude and ready to roll up our sleeves and work with you. Now, we also had another minor development at the State House this week with the election of a new Speaker of the House for the first time in decades, which makes you kind of shortly into your tenure as Senate President, the elder statesman at the Capitol now. And particularly, with your style, you have guided the Senate, in my view, with a very steady hand. And traditionally, the Senate is the more deliberative body, and where you get some of the House kind of swaying with the times and reacting a little bit more quickly to the issues of the moment, and the Senate is the more deliberative body. How do you see things perhaps changing? And you're probably still just settling in with it, but with a new Speaker Welch in the House.
I'm really looking forward to working with Speaker Welch. I've known him for a long time. He represents an adjoining district. But I think it's an interesting notion that I don't know that folks have picked up on yet. I have joked with some of my predecessors that I really hope that the baby boomers would give the millennials or the Generation Xers a brief chance to govern before the millennials take over the world. And right now, I think all four legislative leaders and the governor are either at the very tail end of the baby boom or Generation Xers. So this is as much a generational change as it is anything else. And I'm hoping that we're going to have a chance to tackle some of the problems that are facing us right now with a different perspective.
Well, that's fantastic. And listen, I'll let you go. I'll let you get on with your weekend. Hopefully you can bank some sleep before taking off once again. And the Realtors really appreciate you. We look forward to working with you, and thanks again for making the time.
Great. Look forward to seeing you all back at the Capitol as soon as times return to something approaching normal.
All right. Take care.
Now, as we head into the 2021 spring legislative session, of course, the state is facing many challenges. The pandemic and its aftermath, we still have a huge backlog of unpaid bills and a very large budget deficit. Amidst that, the legislature will be introducing thousands of new bills. We'll take a cursory look at every one of those and pull out the ones that affect the real estate industry, you, your profession, homeowners, property taxes. And we wind up with about 150 bills that we actively lobby on throughout the session. We update you on what's going on with those every week with our state capitol report. But you're probably familiar with the issues. things that regulate our profession, real estate disclosures, land use and zoning, property taxes, environmental regulation, local governmental powers, rent control, increases in the transfer tax, you name it. And we will be diligent in following those bills and making sure the voice of Illinois Realtors is heard at the Illinois Capitol. We're also going to be proactive and come with our own legislative proposals so we take the initiative, so we're not always in a position where we're reacting to the initiatives of others. The legislature views the realtors as leaders, and they come to us and expect our guidance on where public policy should go regarding real estate issues. And we'll be ready to provide them that guidance, and we'll keep you posted on it as the session progresses. So we're ready to take on the challenges. We've just recently beefed up our State House legislative team. I'll still be leading the team. We have now Betsy Mitchell and Jim Clayton on our State House team, and then we've got Matt Rentschler, who is our legislative legal counsel, who gives us that expertise where we need some input on the legal nuances of something, so that when we're sitting at the witness table, we are the experts. But there's a role for you too. Please stay tuned. Every week the legislature is in session. We do a state capitol report. Keep up to date on the issues, so that when the time comes and we ask you to get involved, you'll be informed. And what I'm talking about is a call for action. Times during the legislative session, we'll send out these calls for action that will ask you to email your legislators on key proposals. You wouldn't believe the impact it has when someone from their district voices their opinion on an issue. So they listen, so make sure that you respond to those calls for action. So we're ready to go. Bring on the spring 2021 legislative session, and we'll keep you posted on what's going on. Stay tuned, stay involved, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.